There aren't that many Inazuma 11 games, and if we're being honest, they're all basically the same. So how do you how do you tell them apart in a way where you can rank them in an order from best to worst? Well, the answer is using your brain and opinions, and that is exactly what we're going to be doing in today's video, where I'm going to be ranking every Inazuma 11 game from worst to best. So, let's do this. TXM style. That's right. There are 7 Inazuma 11 games. Whoa, but Tom, there's only 6. No, 7, because I'm including Ghost Strikers 2013 is a 7th game to add in there, just to add a bit of variety. And as you will see where I'm placing it, I figured it would just be nice to just have something there in that position. So without further ado, let us begin. You don't need to know the rules. Obviously, we're including the duos as this is the same game. I'm not going to have a separate spot for Blizzard and Firestorm. They get one spot. We're just going to go from 7th place, so the worst game, to the best game in first. This is all completely subjective, by the way, except for all the picks. They're all objective. This is actually all the truth. Hard fact. If you disagree, get out of here. I'm kidding. I'm very obviously kidding. But I feel I should just clarify. But anyway, without further ado, let's go. Woo! Hey Tom, did you really just put in Ghost Strikers 2013 just to slap it in 7th place? Hell yeah, I did. Get screwed. This game is not fun. Straight up, I think Ghost Strikers single player is the least fun I've had doing Azumarill 11, unless I'm doing a challenge. For instance, the Nuzlocke was really fun doing that on stream, but aside from that, the game is not fun. It is essentially special move simulator where okay, I'm charging, using special move, go. Oh, it's been stopped. Using special move, go. It's very repetitive. The matches go on for far too long, and oftentimes it feels like you score one goal and then just kick it about until the match finishes. There's no real sense, especially when you're playing against computers. There's no sense of tension. There's no sense of intensity. I've often found that it's just not very fun. I like the story mode idea in Ghost Strike 2013, and don't get me wrong, it is the best Strikers game, but still, it only gets you so far, and by so far I mean to the bottom of the list. Boo! So, you may have saw that as a cop-out. So now the question is, what is actually the worst Inazuma 11 game? Good question. The answer is, it's Go 1. I think Go 1 is probably the worst Inazuma 11 game. I know a lot of people agree with me on that. And it is fine, and if we're being honest, it's a fine game. But what so happens is the two things that kind of break it for me. The first is the first half of the story, which is slow, forgettable, repetitive, very melodramatic, even for Inazuma 11 standards, and just kind of drags. The second half rocks and is the best part of the game, but the first half, and then the second thing that breaks it for me is, it's fighting spirits. They're broken. They kind of make the game a bit miserable because spirit tokens are not that easy to be found. Spirit coins are things you give to spirits. Are even in Go 1? I think they are in Go 1, but you know what I mean? They're just they're hard to find. They're not the most easy to give out. It doesn't make the game very fun when you really only have one way of scoring. You know what I mean? You have to use the spirit and get that spirit. You know what I mean? It's not balanced particularly well, especially in the grinding segments, which because of power packing means a lot. But yeah, so overall, fine game, has some big downsides, and Inazuma 11 where they're all pretty good. Yeah, the downsides are pretty poor, I'm going to be honest, but oh well, what are you going to do? This feels like blasphemy, but I'm going to put Inazuma 11 1 next in 5th position. Inazuma 11 1 is pretty good. Honestly, as for being as basic and bare bones as it is, not even having long shots, chain shots, or anything like that, it's a lot of fun. This is probably just from having played through it a billion times at this point, and so at this point knowing the entire game off by heart. But I'm still really enjoying Azumarill 11 1, and I think it is possibly the most. It is breezy, and the scout system is honestly pretty good for their first attempt. It's just annoying the amount of time you have to wait between clicking "I would like to scout" to actually getting to scout. That's the only irritating part of the entire scout system. But aside from that, I think the entire game is fun. Sure, the gameplay is bare bones and basic, and sure, there's not a whole lot of choice, and because obviously there's not a whole lot of things to choose from, but it still makes for a fine experience. Overall, the game is just pretty good. I like the story. I like the opponent teams we take on. I think they're some of the most memorable in the entire series. Obviously, probably as a result of them being first. But you know what I mean? If you look at Pokemon Red and Blue and look at how that game kind of sucks, the fact that Inazuma 11, for being the first, is still so good, that's all I'm saying. It still holds up. Just happens the next four are just better than it. Bit better than it. But oh well. Can't wait for my comment section to kill me for this next pick. But in fourth, I'm putting Inazuma 11 3. Oh my god, what's he doing? It's sacrilege. Come and eat me. No. I swear there's a reason to this. I swear there is a reason, and I will get to that. Yeah, okay. So, Inazuma 11 3. Amazing story. Let's all agree. Probably the best story in all of Inazuma 11. Like, straight up. But I don't find it very fun. Like, I don't think the gameplay is the game at the best. I think it's I don't know how to describe. It just feels clunkier than Inazuma 11 2. Inazuma 11 2 feels so smooth and fun. Inazuma 11 3 just feels clunkier. And I guess the big thing for me is the scouting system. When you're telling Inazuma 11 games apart, especially when you're ranking them, the big thing you focus on, because it's the thing that's mostly different for all of them, is the scouting system. And so for me, Inazuma 11 3 has the worst scouting system out of all of the games. Not only is the second half, the scouting system's kind of busted because you can't recruit, and you can't really recruit without the whole competition boost game, which I don't particularly enjoy. I don't think you should have to take on a team again. Inazuma 1 nailed that, and Inazuma 2 nailed that, where you just finish the story segment. Okay, cool. I can recruit from that. My team expands. Inazuma 11 3, I guess I'm going to take on big waves again. Oh, you know, you can't. It's not even a case of because Inazuma 11 2, you had the whole thing of going and taking on the random teams from before, from the first game. Oh, cool. Took them on, did half of a match, but I can scout them now. If I want to do extra grinding, I can take them on a competition route, but I can still recruit them. Not Inazuma 11 3. Inazuma 11 3 says we hate fun, and so doesn't let that happen. And coins and the tokens to do the thing, I don't, it's random. Why? Why would you make that random? And yeah, you obviously have the battle scouts, but again, still, it's just luck-based. It's grinding, it's luck-based. I don't like it. Honestly, I can't vibe with Inazuma 11 3 scouting system. And for me, that's such a massive detractor to what's otherwise a pretty great experience full of a lot of cool stuff. It's a shame, and don't get me wrong, putting Inazuma 11 3 at fourth, I still love this game. But it misses out on the top 3 because of the abysmal scouting system. Hope that understands and that you don't kill me. I ummed again, and I ahed ever so slightly more about putting Chrono Stones this high, but I felt like I had to because it is the game I've put the most hours into, and so it's obviously the game I've enjoyed the most, joined a lot, and so played the most, and so sure, Chrono Stones can go this high. I think the story may kind of suck, but at the same time, it's also one of the most fun stories to play through because of all the variety in locales and locations, and just kind of how ridiculous it is all the way through. I think Protocol Omega kind of sucks, but at the same time, I also, enjoy the historical periods and historical figures. I love Okita, I love Lube, I love the Mixie Maxes. Sure, the game may be broken as hell because of Armified and Mixie Max, but honestly, I think Armified and Mixie Max makes some fun combos. Reverse positioning is one of my favorite things in any Azumarill game ever, and so I really enjoy doing that in Chrono Stones. Pal packing is pretty great, I'm not going to lie. I wish pal packing didn't involve so much grinding, but I felt there's significantly less grinding. Is there in Chrono Stones? Is there less grinding in Chrono Stones compared to Go 1? I could be pulling that on my arse, I'm not entirely sure. But I think Chrono Stones is just generally a pretty fun game, all things considered. It is, for me, a better package than Go 1, and for me, even a better package than 3, because I can stand to play it for more than 20 minutes in the post-game. Sorry, not sorry. And the best game from the original trilogy is by far Inazuma 11 2. Come on! Not only does the story kick so much ass, not only is there a wide locale of locations, but it also has the best scouting system in the entire freaking series. I'm not kidding. Inazuma 11 2, you know what you do if you want to play it? You go up to Seymour Hillman's scouting machine, you say, Hillman, I would like to scout a player from a cult. He gives you 5 players from a cult. I don't like any of those players. Search again. Ooh, but then you immediately get all the players. Oh, I like this one. Scout them. Okay, now I go and get them. Oh, I've come back and got them. I like another player. It's just like that. It's instant. How bloody hard is it to realize if I want to scout a player, I don't want to scout that player 15 years ago. I don't want to scout that player 15 years into the future. I want to scout that player right freaking now. That's how good Inazuma 11 2 is. In Inazuma 11 2, look, I have the attention span of a baby goat. Inazuma 11 2 knows that about me, and it pets me on the head and says, that's fine, we catered to baby goats. We let baby goats run wild in the grass, and so it lets me have the perfect scouting system. I know I've gone on about a lot about scouting systems, but it was mostly to build up for why I think Azumarill 11 2 is so freaking good. Also to introduce a lot of crazy mechanics. Shot blocking, long shots, great mechanics, brilliant mechanics. Come on. I don't see how anyone could dislike this game. Also, I think Azumarill 11 2 introduced players as some of the best, like Z. I love my Azumarill 11 2 team. Normally I really dislike using normie teams into full of, normie players, but Azumarill 11 2, I just have an all-star team with like Z and Caleb, because I just love all of them so much. I'm like, they need to go on the team. It's a good game. What can I say? Amazing game. Oh, it's so hot in here. I feel like a bloody roast turnip. A roast freaking turnip. If you use the power of deductive reasoning, you can realize that Galaxy is the best game. Come on, Galaxy's the best game. Oh my god, is it? First of all, the content in this game, the sheer amount of it. Legend gates, mixy-maxing, going to the past, which you can do. All the space planets. The space planet, you know what I mean? It makes some vague kind of sense. Fighting spirits, armorified fighting spirits, all the scouting you can do, all the players you can recruit. This game is full of everything. 3 level 9 competition routes. Stick that up your ass. 3 of them. 3 of them. It's mad. It's such a good game. I love it. Galaxy not only has some of the best story of it in the Inazuma Eleven history, by the way. Go check out my Why Galaxy is the Best Thing video ever. Go check that out if you want to see more about why I love Galaxies. I'll keep this relatively short, but Galaxy can suck me harder than a freaking Henry the Hoover vacuum. Love this game. I think it's amazing. I love Galaxy. Adore it. Come on, you knew this was going to be first. Don't even mess. Great game. Can't wait for Great Heroes to never come out. Peace. While it would have been really entertaining to have that be the end of the video, I kind of need to say, if you're watching this video and you want to subscribe to TXM and Tom Spoors, please do. Support the channel and make sure you share this with a friend. That's the best way to support the channel. Fun fact, only 55% of the people who watch my videos are subscribed. So if you're not, whoops-a-daisies, you just did an oopsie. Make sure you fix that by subscribing down below. Like, comment, and all that YouTube jargon. See you guys in the next one. I've been TXM and Tom Spoors. Peace out, homeskis.
We wanna say thank you to Levi and a big